Hey Facebook, I just did a post a little bit ago that I got to be interviewed for my very first podcast. Mainly we talked about my journey as an entrepreneur and being able to go from 10 years of sales and marketing experience to launching my own company and building a company where I get to help business owners grow their own business, which is really a great, fun passion for me. I talk about restaurants specifically because I've actually been in restaurants since I was 16. I was a server and a hostess when I was 16, worked my way up. I was actually a line dance coordinator at Texas Roadhouse. So that was really fun. Moved on to, I was a brewery rep for Sam Adams, learned a ton about beer and how to get more sales for restaurants that way. I kind of launched my own business about a year ago, doing social media marketing specifically for restaurants and other local brick and mortar businesses. There's a lot of ways that you could do marketing. There's a lot of marketing techniques that you may not know if it's working. And I see it all the time. I see a lot of different posts, a lot of different things in my mailbox that may or may not work. I'm going to share with you guys a few things that sometimes work, sometimes don't work. So here goes. So I'm going to give you guys 4 things, and I'm sure you're going to figure out which one I think is the best out of the 4. But one of the things I see a lot of businesses doing is posting on their page and just saying, hey, here's a 10% off coupon. Just come in and tell us you saw this on Facebook or Instagram. And what do you guys think are the problems with that? What do you guys think is the problem with just posting a deal? First of all, are you guys going to go somewhere just for 10% off? I'm not. I mean, unless it's like a business I go to all the time and I'm already like a loyal customer, I'm going to go there anyway. Cool, sure, I'll get 10% off. But I'm not going to go try a new place for sure for just 10% off. It's just not enough. It's not compelling enough to get me off my couch or off my computer screen, if you guys know me lately. So that's one problem. The other thing with that is that, yes, let's say that someone does come in and they bring in their phone and they say, yeah, hey, I saw this on Facebook, and you give them the 10% off coupon, and then they go sit down, they drink their coffee, have their whatever, and that's it. That's the last, that's the last communication you have with that person. You can't follow up with them. You don't have their contact information. So that's one of the worst ways to do some kind of offer, to drive sales. Can't trace it back to the person, and you can't exclude them. Excluding them, it's a really good point, because in the future, now every time you run an offer, you're going to still be showing it to that same person. Great. So not a good way to do marketing. Okay, so another thing that I see a lot of, which does work, but there's a downside, is that mailers, direct marketing, print marketing, where you send out a lot of postcards in the mail. Now that does work, right? Like, I actually have a client who just did their huge grand opening on Saturday, and they spent about $4,000 mailing out postcards. They mailed out a ton of postcards, and they did get people coming in, and they brought the postcard. So there's positives and negatives of that. The positive is obviously they got people to come in, they brought the postcards, and then they could see, like, okay, it does work, right? Like, they came in because of the postcard. It was highly targeted. But for $4,000 for one event, that's a lot, you guys. That's a lot of money. So it's very expensive, and you can't do that as a good long-term strategy, right? It's not something that you can duplicate. You can't do that every time you're like, oh, we need a boost in sales. For a grand opening, it made sense, but ongoing, it's just really expensive to send out mailers, especially because it's going to a lot of people. Now, the other thing you can't do with a mailer, and you can try, but you can't do with a mailer that you can do with social media, is segmenting. So you can try to target based on, age or more expensive neighborhoods if you want to get wealthier people or something. But you can't target based on interest. Like, if you're a healthy restaurant, you can't really target people that go to the gym through a mailer. You could do that on Facebook, though. And so the mailer is good, but it's expensive, and you can't really target it, nor can you track it. They bring it in, you still don't have their contact information. You don't know that person, you don't know that Tracy Matney came in to use that coupon. Ryan says, our job as marketers is to drive new business into their store. It's the client's job to wow them with an amazing experience. Yes. So this is actually really good, because Ryan, I actually won't take on a client I won't take on a client if I don't actually like their food or if I don't like their service. If I've been there before and I had a really bad experience, I mean, I'll give them a little bit of grace if it's like one time. But if I've been to their restaurant several times and it's just like, okay, like I don't even really want to do their marketing until they get the customer service side handled, if they get the food better. Because I'm going to be sending them all this traffic, and it's their job, like you said, to wow them and get them to come back. And that goes the same for every business. Why spend all the money on marketing whenever you don't even have a great customer service experience for them? So yes, good point. Okay, so now there's another method that people are doing a lot of, and I'm sure you guys get bombarded with these, and that's email. Now, email marketing does work. People open their emails, right? You can track that. People get an email that says, hey, bring this in for a free offer. You know, we went to El Torito recently because it was my husband had a birthday coupon, and they actually they didn't even scan it or anything. So I don't even know if they knew he used it. They just said, oh, you have a birthday offer? Great. And that was it. You know, so if there's like a specific code to you, like a barcode that has to be scanned, such as like, what's that really nice hibachi place that does this? You actually have to print it out, which is really tedious and annoying, but you have to print it out, and it has a barcode so they scan it. So they know which customers are engaged and which are not. But still, with email marketing, the open rates are just so terrible. I mean, you guys, I don't know, how many emails do you have in your inbox that are just sitting there that you haven't opened? I'll tell you what I do. We actually like Macaroni Grill. I like going to non-chains, but if I am going to go to a chain, I do like Macaroni Grill. They send me an email every single day. I don't read it. It doesn't make me think I'm going to go in because it just sits in my promos folder. But when we're going to go to Macaroni Grill, I'll search my inbox for Macaroni Grill to get a coupon because it's just predictable. Every single time I go, I'm not going to go spend full price because I know there's going to be a coupon. So email marketing has its pros and its cons. But so that's kind of the third method. Now, the fourth method is that we use a messenger chatbot. And this is what I talked about when I was interviewed on the podcast today, is that so many businesses are not using messenger chatbots. All the time, I will message a business to ask a question and nobody gets back to me for like 12 hours or more, or worse, never. They never get back. So like, let's put it in this situation. You are a restaurant and I message you at say 10 a.m. and I say, oh, what time do you open for lunch? And I don't get a response until 2 p.m. Well, by 2 p.m. I probably went somewhere else for lunch, or I messaged somewhere else, or I Googled it, but you lost a lunch customer right there. So if you just had a basic chatbot that just responded to your basic questions like when are you open, what's your menu, how do I get there, those kind of questions, just to have a chatbot to get people their answers that they want like right away. So just setting up a basic chatbot. But what about marketing with offers? How would someone redeem an offer using a messenger chatbot? That's what we do with the ROI engine. And what the goal of that is to build a database of fans for your brand. And I like to say bills in your till, because we're not just getting you customers like once. The goal is to follow up with them so that they come back again and again to your business. So we want the offer to be super compelling. Compelling offers is going to get someone to come in. The very first offer should be amazing, enough that you may even lose a little bit of money like on acquiring that customer, knowing that it's an investment for the future. We get them into your restaurant, you take the time to make sure that they have a wonderful, awesome customer service experience, and then they're going to come back. But we don't just rely on that good experience for them to come back. We can remarket to them through Messenger. Now, a lot of you guys that are watching, you may have actually opted in. Hello. Hi. Thanks for going along with me here. A lot of you guys that are watching may have actually opted into some of my chatbots for my clients, because I do share their offers a lot of times. So you guys might have opted in and kind of gone through that. I think a lot of you went to Rosa Maria's. Let's just use Rosa Maria's as an example. When we launched their campaign last Saturday, we didn't even use a paid ad, but we just had a messenger chatbot to get the offer. They've had over $4,000 in sales in like 9 days. Like 9 days, they've already had $4,000 in sales just from this one offer. And so all we did was posted an offer on their business page and connected a chatbot to it to deliver the offer. Now the trackable part of this is when they redeem it, we ask them what is their total. So they have to enter that into the bot in order to get their next deal. So the big thing about this is tracking our sales is really important. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I am so excited to be doing this nowadays. I have people all the time asking me, like, what is different about what you do versus other like social media marketers? And I like to say, you can't deposit likes in the bank. Getting likes and comments and shares, that brand awareness is very important, but there's got to be a strategic component to it that helps track the bills in the till. And so that's why Victory Point Social, we focus on fans for your brand, bills in your till.